It's late October, so the gardening season will come to an end soon, but there's still a few things left, so let's see what's been going on and what we have left to harvest. Here's a view from another angle. I let the Mexican sunflowers fall over, but we still have all of the peppers left, and you can see some of them are ready to harvest. Beyond the peppers to the south, just about everything on that end of the garden has been cleaned out already. Now let's take a look at some of the peppers. This pepper plant has 7 other peppers grafted onto it, and the red ones you see here are ahi ricos. That particular graft has done extremely well, as you can see. And it's still setting peppers at the top even at this late date. As I've mentioned before, the plant that I grafted those peppers onto was a sugar rush cream, and here's a look at the peppers from that plant that are ready to harvest. We have one albino bullnose sweet pepper plant, and I've harvested an amazing amount of peppers off of that one small little plant. Including the dozen or more peppers that are ready to harvest now, we will have gotten over several dozen peppers from this one small plant. The Lesia pepper plant that is right next door has a couple of peppers that are big enough to harvest, even though they don't have time to get ripe. It's been kind of taken over by a Malabar spinach volunteer. Before I pulled them out, I let some of the pole beans dry on the vine so I could save some seeds. This one is a rattlesnake. I also saved a few seeds from some carbonate pole beans. These still had some drying left to do. Since we have cold weather coming soon, I went ahead and harvested the ginger that was growing over by the bananas. As an experiment, I'm going to leave one of our 2 turmeric plants in the ground to see if I can get it to survive the winter like the bananas do. I dug up the smaller of the 2 to overwinter it indoors. After washing the soil off with a hose, I could see that this one didn't have time to form many roots. Here's a closer look at what we ended up with. As you can see, there's not very much. I cut off most of the foliage, then I put it in a pot with some potting mix that I made myself. Cutting off the foliage was also an experiment, so we will see in time whether that was a good idea or a bad idea. I pulled up our last Sleeping Lady tomato plant over by the storm shelter, and as you can see, it still had lots of tomatoes on it, especially green ones. Sometimes those late garden cleanups can be a great time for some fried green tomatoes. This is the last tomato plant we have left. It's the Sun Gold that had 4 other tomatoes grafted onto it. And one of those tomatoes I thought was a Maralinga, but it turned out to be a Purple Heart. I went ahead and picked 4 Purple Hearts, some Sun Gold cherry tomatoes, and 1 badly cracked Kookaburra cackle, all from the same plant. Here's a look at some Chicago cold hardy figs that we harvested recently. We haven't gotten a lot of them, but we've really enjoyed the ones that we've gotten. I'm hoping we can get a small harvest from our small Olympian fig next year. Now that there's less to do in the garden, I have more time to organize my monstrosity of a seed collection. I've kind of let this get out of control over the years. I have seeds that I bought, seeds that I've collected out of my own garden, and seeds that I've been given. Even though I'm about 90% finished, instead of looking like this, it now looks like this. Let us know if your garden's still growing, and don't forget to like, comment, and share. We'll see you next time.